Hello friends, let's understand this total probability law. So I will take an example. So let's say I have students which belong to 11th grade. So I have a set of students who belong to 11th grade. Let's depict them in a set like this. So this is your set S, which consists of all students of 11th grade. Now I am going to divide these students into three sections. So let's say I divide into a particular section, let's B1, the other let's say B2, and let's say B3. So what does that mean, dividing? That means if I choose a student, that student will either belong to B1 section, B2 section or B3 section. And these BIs are actually containing all the students of the 11th grade. Now if I ask you, if I say that A is a set, okay, which contains students who got 80 plus marks. Okay, let's add maths to in maths. Okay, if I say that A is a set which have students who got 80 plus marks in maths, how do I get that? One thing is, like, I go overall in the set S and I ask who got 80 plus, okay, and I just record that. The second thing is, I go to each section and I ask the class teacher how many students got more than 80% marks. So that teacher is going to tell me how many students are there who got 80% marks. Similarly, I can go to the section B2 and I will get that information. Similarly to B3, I will get that information. Now what I am going to do, I am going to add all these, right? So if I get the number of students who are here, number of students who got 80 plus and are here, and number of students who got 80 plus and are here. So what did you do? If I asked you to find number of elements, so this is your complete set A, isn't it? Now I am asking you how many students got 80 plus marks. What did you do? You said that number of students who were in A intersection B1, right? Okay, A intersection B1 means in section B1 and got 80% marks. Both the events are happening together. Then number of students who got 80% and are in B2, and number of students who are in B3 and got 80%, 80 plus marks. This is what you do. And you understand why are you adding, right? Because these are all disjoint sets. A intersection B1 is disjoint from A intersection B2 is disjoint from A intersection B3. So they don't have any students in common. So we are going to add them. Now let's ask the probability question. Now I am going to ask, like, what is the probability of event A? Now what is my event A? Event A is, if I choose a student in from 11th grade. Choosing a student means I am choosing at random, choosing a student from 11th grade, okay, and he got 80 plus marks. Okay, now I am asking you that what is the probability of A? Okay, if I am asking you what is the probability of, what are you going to do? You are going to just divide by number of total students, right? That is your probability, favorable upon total number of, this is what you do, total number of students divided by total number of students divided by total number of students. Okay, now what is this? That is probability of A, right? Probability that I pick a student and he got 80 plus marks, that is probability of A, is equal to probability of A intersection B. What is the probability that from section B1 I will get a student who got 80 plus marks? Okay, both our event are happening together, A as well as B1. Similarly, I can just write the other two probabilities as well. You get the point, right? So now what? Now I can use multiplication theorem of probability, saying what? Saying that this is nothing but probability of A provided you were in section B1 into probability of choosing section B1. Okay, why is this? Because total probability law, right? Probability of any two events happening together is probability of an event happening into probability of another event happening, provided the first event has already happened. Okay, this I can either write in this fashion or I can write in this fashion. Both are the same things. So I am using, this is called multiplication law of probability. Similarly, I am going to write it here, probability of A provided B2. And do you understand why I am taking B2, B1, B2, B3 in terms of that? Because I am already aware of what is the information about that section, because that teacher will be well aware about the information about that section. So that information will be easy to get. So this. So now what is probability of B1? If I have equal number of students in all the 3 sections, then probability of choosing any section will be equal. So that will be 1/3. And if suppose as in the diagram you can see B3 has more students, so probability of B3 will be more. Selecting a section, B3 will be more. Okay, so depends. In a given question you will be knowing what is the probability that you will choose B1 or B2 or B3. And then what is the probability of A, provided you are in section B1, you can always find out, because then you will be only in this much area and you just want to find out what is the probability of this much. Okay, so whatever we said is total probability law. Okay, and in this example you just said that probability of A is equal to summation A provided, probability of A provided Bi happen, into probability of Bi. Here your I belongs to varies from 1 to 3. Now if I want to ask the question in general, what can I say? If in any probability question, if you are able to partition your sample space into so many number of mutually exclusive and exhaustive events, so let's say you can do something like this, B3, so they don't have to intersect. Okay, that means if one is happening, the others won't happen. Okay, that is what is called mutually exclusive events. Okay, if one is happening, other doesn't happen, that is called mutually exclusive event. And exhaustive, that means this BIs whichever you are forming are actually covering your whole set. And exhaustive events, exhaustive, it is exhausting the whole sample space. If in a problem you are able to do that, then finding probability of any particular event A will be nothing but just you have to sum up the probabilities. So you have to have probability of A given B1 into probability of B1 plus probability of A given B2 into probability of B2, and so on up to, if you have done n partitions, it is this. Okay, so I hope this is clear, and this is the statement of total probability theorem, that if BIs are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events, then probability of any event A happening is this. Hope it is clear. Thank you. See you. Bye bye.